Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hey, so great to have you with us. Just a couple of radio guys doing a podcast talking about, talking about just a whole pile of crap. That's what we're doing. There's my buddy Riggins.
Morning. It's a busy week.
You went and visited your parents over the weekend for the Memorial Day?
Yeah. I saw them a couple of days.
So you did spend the night there or no?
Yeah.
I thought they told you to vamoose.
Well, they basically did, but not until Sunday.
Okay. And your brother and his family were there too?
They were around. My oldest brother was not. They're out of state in Florida, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice, super calm weekend.
You didn't get hammered though, like you did with the family at Christmas?
I didn't get super drunk, which is fine because they eat dinner early. So after I eat, I'm like not really interested in drinking a lot more. So by 5:30, I shut all that down. But it was great. Drove around the old folks' home. I'll tell you something about old people. They love some American flags.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as far as the eye can see, there are American flags flying proudly.
As there should be.
Yeah.
What time do they eat dinner?
Like 5:30.
Okay. Do they
Same
eat
time we
lunch
always
too?
grew up eating. Yeah.
Okay.
We went out for lunch.
But when you have company, that's you plan everything around what you're eating next.
Exactly.
Yeah. But some people don't. If they're going to eat that early, they don't eat lunch or just kind of snack around for lunch. Mm-hmm. My brother-in-law though, Chuck. My kids call him Uncle Chunk. Uncle Chunk, when he's cooking dinner, it's late.
Is it
Same with my brother. Maybe a Louisiana thing. But if my brother's cooking, you just look to not eat until 8.
Yeah.
Usually. And it may be because they're too busy socializing to get in there and get the meal going. Mm-hmm. Not me. If I'm late getting dinner, if it's late, it means that things took longer than I thought they were going to take.
Yeah.
And I am humping it when I got people coming over when I'm cooking.
Sure.
So sometimes I have to start hours in advance.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to get it all done.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't like people, if they're, let's say, last time we had a bunch of people over, it was 2 other couples, making it 6 of us all together. Well, if you have, the integral part of the cooking left to do after people get there, it's a little bit more difficult because they do want to talk to you. They're, hanging out in the kitchen and all of that stuff as they, people, it's normal for people to do that.
Sure.
So I want to make sure that I got most of it done before they get there, because I know they're going to be peeking in pots and they're going to be, what you got there? Now, how'd you make that? How long does it take you to make? They're going to be people full of questions, especially when somebody's cooking on the caliber that I'm cooking. I mean, it's just like, it'd be like if you just went into a restaurant and they said, all right, Emerald is going to let y'all mill around the kitchen while he's cooking and ask any questions you want and, bring him a beer, whatever.
Just in the way.
I didn't say that. They're not in the way. But I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything important.
Yeah, right.
In case they get in the way.
We went and got lunch. Me and my dad they got a brand new golf cart. And my mom is very concerned about how much it costs. But they had been planning on getting this new golf cart. And we went to this barbecue place. So we drove the golf cart out on like the main road, but it's like a bunch of golf carts out there. And my mom tells him, bring the cooler, because she makes him bring a cooler to put all the food in there so it stays piping hot, because there's hush puppies there that are great. So he needs to put it in the cooler. Mm-hmm. So we get there, and he orders the food. We sit at the bar, and he's like, let's have a beer before we go home. I'm like, well, Mom is waiting for lunch, and you brought the cooler so it would stay hot. Why did you just order the food if we're going to sit here and have a beer? And we did. But, it's like their whole day revolves around. You're right.
Was it hot when y'all got back?
Yeah. I mean, it's like down the street, but didn't need a cooler.
What's the golf cart look like? Does he have separate golf carts, one for being on the golf course and then one for being on the street?
My brother just got one that's street more apt for the street. It's got Bluetooth. It's got the screens in it, the speedometer, the Bluetooth, the speakers built in. My parents is more golf based.
Okay,
but I think it was pretty expensive.
Well, when we go to the beach with little friend Jenny and handsome husband Michael, Michael won't rent a regular looking golf cart. It has to be one of those with the big tires on it and the chrome rims, and got to be gas powered because the electric ones you don't trust. Be across the the beach somewhere and did not have a charge on it. The whole thing. And knowing that, I mean, it's just for the however many days we're there.
Yeah.
But it has to be one of those cool looking golf carts. That's the way they are about cars in general. I mean, they will not, be in a car, whether it's theirs or one that they've rented or whatever, that's not cool looking.
That's pretty cool.
But, we'll gripe if they charge $3 a beer somewhere,
Yeah. Priorities. Yes, this is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they don't. Well, and I guess because they put so much importance on beer that they know that when they're being overcharged, they'll have none of it.
Beers, cars. Yeah. You don't want to cheap out on the things that you really enjoy.
But I wonder how much one of those. I mean, I wonder if that's what people in your parents' neighborhood have. They have the ones that look like that just for traveling back and forth to the store, the restaurants, and all that. And then there's a separate one that goes on the golf course.
My brother's is a 6-seater, and it
that's
definitely
what
goes,
these are that he rents.
It definitely goes over. I think it's 30 miles an hour is what it does, or 35. My dad's doesn't go that fast.
So where is your brother Matt driving that in Atlanta?
No, my brother.
Oh, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah, and where the hell is he driving that in where he lives?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you got to understand if you live in a beach community or a retirement community where they use golf carts all the time on the street.
They love them. They love putting the kids. I mean, I think it's mostly about the kids.
Yeah.
But they just tool around with the kids on them, and that was like a big decision when my dad was buying his one. He was like, "Well, we need the shade on the back so when the kids are in it and it's too hot, but I also need the shade to be up high enough so that my golf clubs still fit in." It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's all about them kids.
Just needs to be 2 of them. That's all.
Yeah.
2 golf carts.
2 golf carts.
There's a place up the road right here by the studio that I don't know if it's still there, but they used to sell and build those customized golf carts with the giant tires. Like they wouldn't even let them. They would never let them on a golf course.
Yeah.
They look like side by sides basically. Really cool. They were expensive, and I think the kids were getting in trouble in some of these fancy neighborhoods around here because they were driving those things out on the road and getting in the way. You got little kids driving those things. But that's cool, though. You just jump on a golf cart and go.
Yeah.
Why not?
There's like a little gate in their neighborhood. You type in your code, and it only allows access for golf carts. And then you drive through this gate, and then you're immediately in a huge shopping center. It's got the grocery store, a bunch of restaurants in a strip mall, a doctor's office.
Whoa.
I mean, everything. So they don't ever have to get in the car. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pull up into any of these places, in the first 20 spots, right in front of the Harris Teeter or the Publix, golf cart parking.
And do your parents only have 1 car now?
Yeah, they're just down to 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They figured,
Yeah.
neither. There's not going to be a time where we're separate and we each have to go long distances.
Sure.
But he just went to the beach for a week and left her like without a car. But she was like, "That's fine. I'll just drive around." But that would drive me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you needed to go, well, I guess all the emergency stuff is right there.
It is all there, but I would just like to have it.
Yeah, car is freedom. And there's no doubt about that.
The problem is that if you have 2 cars, what do you do with the golf cart? You don't want it sitting out in the driveway. I don't know that you're allowed to have it sitting out in the driveway.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Do they have golf club storage, golf cart storage there that you can rent, like boat storage?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because you got to figure everybody there has one.
Everybody's got one.
Everybody in the neighborhood, even if they don't play golf, they have one to go back and forth in the neighborhood.
We passed somebody coming back from lunch, and there was this older couple, maybe 80s. And they were flying these big Trump flags, like just waving in the wind. The golf cart is blue. It's got the stars and the stripes. I went, holy cow, look at these two.
That's great.
It was funny.
That is great. All right. We're about to get into something that I'm pretty flattered that Riggins thought this was that sounded like this would come from my mind. Somebody on the social medias has come up with a rule, a life rule, and he said it seemed like something I would come up with. Kicking myself for not. I'll tell you that. And then probably one of the creepiest, well, not necessarily creepy as much as just disgusting requests from a prevert. We get to all that coming up next.
TJ's Podcast.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Back to TJ's Podcast.
So, I'm very happy because I told you that I was expecting my shipment, my order from Omaha Steaks, and I got it. I love seeing that big white styrofoam container sitting on the porch. I mean, it's all iced down and it's kept frozen in there, so nothing spurls, as they say. And then what happens is it's got the packing list on the top of the little ice chest thing. So I'm always torn as to whether or not I'm just going to start reading that or I'm just going to crack it open and just see what they've sent me. Now you will you'll know when yours gets there what's in it, but with mine's being a an important and influential member of the Omaha Steaks family. But anyway, when you order that Omaha Steaks gift pack for your dad or the dad of your children or whomever, it's the perfect Father's Day gift. And these are hand-selected gift packages with the top quality, second-to-none steaks from Omaha Steaks, as well as other meats and side dishes and desserts and all of that stuff. But you can get that hand-selected gift package starting at just $89 when you go to omahasteaks.com. And then at checkout, when you use the promo code ACETJ, you'll get an additional discount. So, I mean, it's going to be the Father's Day gift that he will appreciate the most. Even more so than if your kids labored over making some little art project or something. He's going to prefer them. He won't say it, but trust me, he will feel it. He'll appreciate the Omaha steaks more than anything else. So it's not just throwing together a bunch of subpar meats into a container and shipping them off. No, it comes directly to you in the top quality steaks and chicken and gourmet burgers and hot dogs, and even those apple tartlet things are so delicious, just round out the whole experience. So again, go to omahasteaks.com and at checkout use the promo code ACETJ and you're going to get big discounts. You're going to think, wow, how am I getting all this stuff for such a little price? And if you start looking at it and you just think about going to the grocery store and buying what all you're going to get from Omaha Steaks, there's no way it would come out close on price. The grocery store would be way more expensive. That's what I did. Okay. So omahasteaks.com, promo code ACETJ at checkout. Now, everybody is still debating back and forth whether you should tip with this or not tip with that. And a long time ago, people started asking for tips that were in positions that weren't traditionally known to be a tipping position. Mail carriers. I remember that. Newspaper delivery people. I was standing outside the radio station 20 years ago. And, or maybe even longer than that, because I was still a smoker. I was still a disgusting cigarette smoker. And I was having my last cigarette before the show started. The newspaper delivery person came by, and instead of just throwing the newspaper out the window in front of the radio station, she stopped and said something about, I put an envelope in there for my tip. And I'm like, I'm not even the one who pays for the newspaper, so whatever. So it's been going on for a while, and people start asking for tips who aren't in the tipping business. And now it's, should we tip? Should we not tip? And I don't understand the concern over and being in a position where you don't know to tip or not to tip. Because I know. I know when to tip somebody and when not to tip them. But Riggins sent this video of a guy from the TikTok, and he's eating fast food. He's sitting down at the fast food table eating, and there's no audio to it. It's just up on the screen, the writing, and it says, new rule, if I order standing up, I'm not tipping.
It's pretty good.
Simple, right there.
It's pretty good.
If you're standing up when you order.
Yeah.
Or looking up at a menu instead of down at a menu. Mm-hmm. Not tipping.
Yeah, I think anything where you're standing up, that's pretty good. But, we tip, the people that do the car wash.
Yeah.
That wipe out the cars. But now it's like, I think what makes it worse is that they're not asking, hey, would you like to leave a tip? They do it on the screens. So it's a little bit less less formal, but the pressure is still there.
Yeah. But the reason they do that is to put pressure on people.
Sure.
And the reason that so many occupations now are pushing the tipping is because that is going to end up giving a break to the business, because the tips are going to be a way for them to pay their employees less. So they want tipping everywhere. Business owners do. Tip my employees, because if it's an established tipping situation, then you don't have to pay them as much. Mm-hmm. So that's why they push that.
And is that
as a matter of fact, you should start tipping Rob and Riggins wherever you see them.
Yeah, maybe we should. But is the business right for doing that?
What, this business?
Finding like this loophole where it's like we can pay people less if we just ask people to tip.
I think that business owners are under such attack right now because of political reasons, that they're looking to find any possible way to save money on employee costs, because that's the biggest expense a business has, is paying people. And when you got some states that are raising the minimum wage to $50 an hour or whatever it is, and that's why so many people are moving toward robots and stuff. Rob said he was at a restaurant the other day and a robot came out there and brought him his chips and salsa or whatever
No
it was.
way.
Playing mariachi music.
I'd be okay with that. Just the chips and salsa.
Yeah. But meanwhile, you got a mariachi band that's out of a job.
Yeah. That's terrible. Really? A robot at a Mexican restaurant? That's surprising. I've never heard of it, anything like that. I've not seen
Yeah.
one of those.
They what was the name? El Roboto? Mr. Roboto, I think. Senor Barato. Roboto.
That is weird. I wonder if you can save a lot of money because those things got to be expensive.
Yeah, in the long
Server
run.
robot?
Yeah, you don't have to pay insurance for it. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. I wonder what that costs.
Anything. Just the maintenance on it.
Yeah. Got to send it back to the robot warehouse or robot workshop to get fixed.
No, yeah, probably because there probably aren't that many robot mechanics around, are there?
I don't think so.
What do you do for a living? I'm a robot mechanic.
Huh. That wouldn't bother me, though. A little robot bringing up.
Yeah, I'd rather it not be playing the mariachi music though,
Yeah, I guess. That's kind of annoying.
because I'm sure it doesn't have a good sound system in it.
No.
Probably not a good quality speaker.
No bows to be found in the
Right.
Mexican server robot.
Have you ever noticed though that they could turn down the volume on those commercials that they run at the gas pumps?
Yeah, they are loud.
Thank good Lord, they scare the crap out of me.
You got Mario Lopez shouting trivia
Yeah.
questions at you. Like, ugh.
Damn. And then this woman is on the smut pages of the internets. She is a smut peddler for a living. And by the way, I don't think nearly enough people call online sex people smut peddlers.
No, I think you're the only one.
Let's make that popular. She's a smut peddler.
You just don't hear smut that often.
I know.
Smut.
It was always my mama's word. She uses smut.
What is it? It's just sex.
Yeah,
acts.
vulgarity, gross.
So it's not a positive
No.
word. Okay.
No. Smut just means vulgar sex. Like like they used to call Hustler a smut magazine. It's just a smut. But anyway, this woman is on the social medias, maybe OnlyFans or whatever. She's an Australian influencer, they call her. And she's only 23.
Yeah.
She's my daughter's age. Can you imagine? But they say that she's a financial dominatrix. And that's like where men will pay her to do
Humiliating things.
like pour chocolate sauce on her head,
Yeah.
things like that.
I don't know why they call it a finance. That just sounds like a dominatrix.
Yeah. It's stupid. The whole thing is stupid. So one person paid her almost $4,000 to get a pedicure. He chose the color for her to have put on her nails, and then she had to film herself cutting her toenails and putting them in an envelope to mail to him.
$4,000 for some toenail clippings. I mean, what?
What is he?
What does he do with them? Right. What do you do with those? You can only imagine. Is he eating them?
That's what.
Is he sticking them between his teeth, like when you accidentally, bite off a hangnail and it gets stuck in your. I picture him doing that. But It's a toenail clipping. I mean, your options are kind of limited.
Yeah, of what you could do with them.
What could you possibly do with those? Or maybe he wants to save them.
But if he's got that kind of money, maybe you're going to save them to get her DNA and recreate her.
Do a full Dolly the sheep on her.
But I think, if you're going to clone somebody, is that the DNA you would want, or would you just say, "Hey, can you send me a lock of your hair or something?" Who knows?
Let me see. I didn't even see if she was pretty or not. I'm sure she is.
But I know this is sound weird, but when I know that, when I already establish she's my daughter's age, I don't even.
You don't even look at them as sexual beings at that point?
No.
I'll ask your buddy Ace what he's. Oh, she's definitely hot. Definitely. Not hot enough that I'm going to do anything with that toenail clippings. I'd be disgusted. The hottest person in the world could be like, here are my toenail clippings. I'd go, get the hell away from me.
Yeah. She could send them to you for free, and you'd probably turn her in for mail. What do you call it? Harassment through mail. Through the postal system.
I don't care how hot you are. It's disgusting.
All right, so think about that for a second. We got more coming up.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it. Finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
So, Riggins, you're 37, right?
36.
36. You're about to be 37.
Yeah.
In just a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, coming soon.
Well, there's a survey that they've done, a study that says that people start feeling more negative about things at age 42.
More negatively.
They feel more negatively about things.
I get that.
But my wife always says that you didn't used to be as grouchy as you are now, and but I'm always confused by that because I've always had the same principles. I've always had the same outlook on life. I've not changed in any way from being observant to society and critical of things and saying the only reason they're doing that is because of this, and I get all of these things. But she says it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. And what I say is that the society has gotten worse, and there's more for me to criticize now than there ever has been.
It's a good spin.
I mean, it's true.
Maybe it is.
Okay, so let me go down the list here. They have a list of, they ask people what they have felt the most irritated by recently in the top 10. TV volume being too loud. If it's too loud, it's too loud. So big deal. Music that you don't like.
No, this is not it for me.
No, I've always been critical of music I don't like.
Yeah.
The tipping culture, when we just covered that a few minutes ago. Social media trends. Yeah, I complain about that because, I mean, if something's stupid, it's stupid, but it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I'm older, because there weren't social media trends when I was younger.
Right.
Because they didn't exist.
Yeah.
Customer service.
Yeah, that's a more, those other things you can kind of control. Maybe not. Yeah, tipping culture as well. But I get that one.
But the customer service is different now than it used to be. I mean, people can't even argue that.
Yeah.
You know, because as society has changed, then people are not taught to be overly friendly and helpful to the customer and all. You know, they're taught that they better not say anything to you, or you're going to fight them, or you're going to you're not supposed to be putting yourself into a job that's not paying you enough. You know, that kind of stuff. You put as much into the job as you feel you're getting paid to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, nobody is, and the people who are in customer service now have been raised in a society where you have less contact with people face to face. So they don't, a lot of people, they're not mean or anything. They just don't know how to talk to people. The weather, complain about the weather. I don't complain about the weather. The weather is what it is. You know, crowds. Yeah, I complain about crowds. I don't like crowds, but I never have.
Yeah. Well, who does? I mean, no one likes being in a crowd.
Someone else is driving. I don't complain about it. I guess that means in traffic or whatever.
Yeah. Or your significant others, maybe?
Yeah. Jody complains about mine all the time.
Yeah.
Politicians. I've complained about politicians my whole life. Doesn't have anything to do with me being a little bit over 42. And grocery prices. Well, because grocery prices have gone out of control in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, up by, food items, and you break it down, are up by over 100% over the last 3 years or so.
I think that's totally valid
to
complain about stuff like that.
And if younger people aren't complaining about it, it's because younger people don't buy groceries.
Yeah, maybe. Or they, came to a time in their life during the pandemic when all this was happening, so they don't know any better. It's like, this is what it is. But yeah, that sucks.
But all of this inflation and everything on food prices and all, I mean, that could have been down to normal by now.
It's crazy.
But let's go to number 2 and complain about politicians and the politicians that are in charge of the government right now in the economy are causing the grocery prices to remain high, giving us something to complain about. So you get a twofer there. I just don't like when people attribute whatever a situation is to somebody being older. I mean, even if it's a doctor, when the doctor goes, well, I mean, at your age and whatever, okay, at my age. So explain what it is about my age that causes this. Don't just chalk it up and tell me, yeah, this is what happens when you get your age. Okay, but why does it happen? I'm not saying that it doesn't, but why? Because of a breakdown of this, or because of this, because you don't do that. Is there anything that I can do to slow it down? Can I do, not just, oh, well, we all have to face it. No, we do, I guess, but I want to face it with an explanation.
A little bit of knowledge.
Yeah. And that's why it frustrates me talking to young people who just scoff at everything that an older person says. Like, oh, well, you don't understand. Like if somebody who's in their 40s or 50s is talking about, some kind of a trend and giving an opinion that's negative of whatever the trend is, and then the young people that are in the conversation just going, Because you're old. Okay, but since I am old and I don't know about this because of my age, according to you, explain it to me. Why? And then 9 times out of 10, you know what they say? It just is. And then that's frustrating. You go, no, that's not a reason. It just is. It's not telling me the reason why. And then you ultimately end up going, you don't know why. Young people don't know shit. Say that and they go, oh. But they can say old people don't know about anything. But if you say young people don't know about anything, then they're too fragile to handle it. And they don't understand, the hypocrisy in it. That's why I don't like young people.
It's pretty clear.
I don't.
It's a
I don't like
battle.
Do you remember that day I said that no young person could ever teach me anything?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't learn anything from a young person.
We'll never get this sorted out.
Yeah. But I mean, I was just aggravating them on that. I mean, there are some things I could learn about young people. I do it all the time. You teach me stuff all the time.
But I'm not young.
But that's another thing. When somebody who, is in their late 30s or moving toward mid 30s or whatever, and they refer to themselves as young, and then you have to tell them, you're not that young anymore. Then they really get mad. Alexis used to get mad about that. I can remember when my dad was your age.
Really?
Yeah.
You remember? Really?
Mm-hmm.
How old was your dad when you had you?
26.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't remember your dad being your age?
Not really. I think they were 30 or so.
When you were born?
Yeah, I think so. My dad might have been 32.
I was 30 when my daughter was born, my first child. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I remember. I guess I.
So
do
I know
remember
she
younger.
remembers me being 37.
Yeah. I don't. But then again, I've done many things to my brain.
Yeah, you have. Out there selling dope, moonshine, everything else.
Exactly.
All that other stuff. I saw something the other day at the liquor store that I thought was interesting. Those kosher dill pickles soaking in moonshine.
Really?
Yeah. I've had peaches soaked in moonshine. Those are good. But I've never had pickles.
Pickles.
I'm going to have to go back and get it.
Vinegar, alcohol, and pickle.
Yeah.
Oof. That'll wake you up, I bet.
So we'll put that on the grocery list. We need to get moonshine pickles, and we need to get the stuff to make Gypsy Rose Blanchard's Prison Red Bull.
Yeah, I do want to try that. Fruit juice in your coffee. Oh, it just sounds awful.
Coffee dissolved in water, instant coffee dissolved in water, mixed with orange soda and a packet of Kool-Aid or High C powder.
Yeah.
And broken up Jolly Ranchers. Yum.
Yum. Pour me a glass.
Yeah, and so she learned that in prison, and now she's gotten accustomed to it. That's what she likes now. She makes it at home.
To continue making those kind of prison meals outside of prison is just beyond me.
I got a cousin who still drinks toilet wine. He was in Angola in Louisiana.
Say what you want. It's good.
His wife gets pissed because he always messes up her toilet. But
I bet.
Other than that,
why is there a red ring around the toilet?
All right, we got to go. We got a big day today. Extra work being done. We're going on a new radio station this afternoon. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff going on: radio and podcasting, interpretive dance, all of it. Finger painting, just trying to eke out a living. That's all we're doing. Trying to eke out a living, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your support. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.